Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Igor and you're watching 3D Inovacija. Alright, so today's video is going to be a little different from what I usually do. You know, on YouTube there are tons of videos about the gear. 3D printers, lasers, compressors, brushes, all that good stuff that we all love and want. But I feel there aren't that many videos about what we actually make with that gear. Every week there are so many incredible models coming out that most of them just fly under the radar. I follow dozens of amazing artists on Patreon and every day I get tons of emails showcasing new models, renders and announcements, from practical designs and prototypes to toys, collectibles and of course some absolutely amazing looking showcase pieces. So my plan with this new series is to highlight some of the coolest ones I've seen, at least in my opinion, talk about what makes them special, how I would approach painting them, and just appreciate the creativity behind them. I also want to shine a light on the talented artists who create these models and the incredible paint jobs that bring them to life. I'm sure you had that moment scrolling through the Instagram, TikTok, ArtStation, you see something cool on the mobile and you're like, whoa, that's amazing. But a second later you screw up and forget about it. Well, I want to pause on those moments and really bring them to focus. And hey, it's not just about the great stuff, I will also talk about the ones that maybe don't quite hit the mark for me. Not to hate on anyone, but to share honest thoughts and talk about what could be different or improved. And here's where I would love your help. If you come across something that really catches your eye, a model, a paint job, or even an older gem that deserves new attention, send it. Just send it my way. I would love to check them out and maybe feature them in my future videos. Let's give these artists and their work the spotlight they deserve. Of course, I will still be uploading my regular painting tutorials, so stay tuned because for my next one I've got something really special and cool. Alright, so let's get started. The first model on the list is from Wicked. And man, what a start! This one is a bit older, but I stumbled upon it recently and I mean, just look at this thing, it's an absolute beast. Now don't attack me, but I honestly think that this is the most iconic scene from the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. And come on, that line, "You shall not pass!" still gives me the chills every single time. Now the only thing I'm not sure about is the scale, because Balrog looked way bigger in the movie to me compared to Gandalf. Right? Or maybe that's just my brain remembering it wrong. Either way, I don't care. This whole setup just looks amazing. The bridge, the old dwarven temple, the details, even the base with the movie name, it all fits perfectly. Painting this would definitely be a ton of work, don't get me wrong, but it would be so worth it. This thing would look insane on the shelf. If I were painting it, I would 100% print all fire parts in clear resin, then hit them with the alcohol ink and finish with a gloss varnish. That combo gives you that glass-like fire effect, super clean, super vibrant. Now about the magma between Balrog's scales. Yeah, that's gonna be tricky. You could paint it around it one scale at a time, but that would just be pain in the butt. So here's what I would do. I would start with a black primer, then add zenithal highlight, and after that a layer of gloss varnish. Leave it to dry, then thin down some red, yellow and orange enamel paints. Kind of like a custom Tamiya Penoline accent paint, and let it flow into all the cracks. Once it dries a bit, just wipe across the top with a thinner. That will leave all the glowing color down in the recesses, perfect for the magma look. And for the Gandalf, I would totally wire a small LED inside of the staff, make it actually glow in the dark. That, combined with the fire from Balrog, chef kiss. This piece is absolutely amazing. We could really nail the atmosphere and the details on this one, so Thank you, and moving on. Alright, next one I got for you is something that's been popping up a lot lately, especially with the hype around the game Hollow Knight Silksong that came out recently. There are quite a few different versions of Hornet floating around, but this one from Volition Miniatures might be my favorite. It just looks badass. Did you guys play the original Hollow Knight? I finished it when it first came out, I loved every second of it, but I still haven't tried this sequel. But from what I've seen on the Steam, it's got very positive reviews. Nice. And honestly, this price tag is such a nice change from all the half-finished $60 AAA games that came out in the last couple of years. Okay, back to the model. It's got that perfect mix of elegance and danger. I love how artists represented the cape. In the game it looks more like a simple red dress, but here we get these organic armor-like plates that look powerful and almost royal. And that pose, she's ready to strike at any moment. I feel like if you put this model on a shelf, not many people would know who it is, but everyone will stop to look at it. It's one of those pieces where people go, okay, that's cool. Where's that from? Let me check it out. Painting wise, this one is doable as a weekend project if you have nothing else in plan to do. There aren't many tiny details that would take a ton of time. I would prime the whole thing black, add zenithal highlight, deep reds for the wing and keep the underside darker. At the top I would add highlights with a brighter orange. Some whitish color for the helmet and sword, and finish it off with a dark wash to settle into all the crevices and give it more depth. All in all, amazing looking piece. By the way, if you ever wondered how Hornet looks under the mask, well, you don't need to wonder anymore because it looks exactly like this. Yes, exactly like this. Don't question it. But that smile, tell me, doesn't look like Mavis from Hotel Transylvania. Come on, it's totally her. All the Mavis, bleached hair, red contact lenses. There we go. Hornet unmasked. Anyway, this model is from Peach Figure, and it's definitely a sexy take on the character. Or maybe a human take, depending on how you see it. There are a bunch of versions, some are not appropriate enough to show on YouTube. Painting wise, it looks pretty straightforward. You've got a bit of skin texture to play with, a nice bright red cape, and that's about it. The only possibly tricky part would be maybe black suit, since the entire surface has this super fine fabric texture. So if you're painting, keep your layers thin, don't flood it with paint because you will drown the texture and lose it. At the end, do a bit of dry brushing on the top of the suit to bring the texture to life. Same as the previous Hornet, I love to see different interpretations of the characters like this, so nicely done. Moving on. Okay, so this one has been sitting on my drive for quite some time. It's so good, but it would also be so much work to paint. But then again, it's so good. It's a Plague Doctor diorama made by Nerikson, and honestly, it's incredible. If you don't know who Plague Doctors were, let me give you a quick history intro. Plague Doctors were physicians hired by European cities during the 17th century, back when the plague was wiping out entire towns. They were sent to treat the infected, mostly poor people, but to be honest, most of them didn't really treat anyone. They just recorded the deaths. So if you saw a plague doctor in your town, that was not a good sign. And that famous long bird-like mask they wore, that was actually filled with herbs and spices. They believed it filtered out the so-called bad air, which they thought was cause of the plague. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. So this diorama looks insanely realistic. Just look at all the folds on the coat, all the little accessories, the satchel, the cane, the tiny bottles. The amount of texture and detail here is just crazy. And that lantern, that's the real challenge. Because the moment you add the lantern, it means that the whole scene is happening at night. So you have to paint everything with that in mind. The light glowing out of the lantern, how it hits the cloak, how it reflects off the clothes and the ground. You have to imagine how the shadows fall, in this case, how the warm light mixes with the dark tones, and a bunch of more stuff. Also the crows. Beautiful touch. They give this whole piece this dark, eerie, gothic mood. One other thing, I would absolutely add a sound module to this model. In my Hellboy tutorial, I showed you step by step how to add sound module and make your model talk or play sound effects with the press of the button. So check that video out for the whole procedure.
All you gotta know is I'm kicking your ass.
For this model, I already know exactly which sound I would use. Wait for it. This one.
I need to get to work before the disease consumes the rest of these poor souls.
This fits so perfect on this model, I have no words. If I could make one suggestion though, I would love to see this model available in a version without the dead body on the floor. Not everyone wants a corpse on their display shelf, you know? But all in all, absolutely stunning work by Nerikson. Thank you. Next! Alright, this one's relatively new. It's from CA 3D Studio, and I absolutely love it. As a huge fan of Dead Space games, this model instantly set me straight back in time. I still remember playing it for the first time. Also, I checked just now and the game came out in 2008. 17 years ago. 17. I can't believe it. It honestly feels like it was just yesterday. Looking back now, that game was such a revolution for the horror genre. I still remember being completely blown away that you didn't just shoot enemies, you had to dismember them limb by limb to actually kill them. It was brutal, it was smart, and it was terrifying. It was such a good game. Now about the model. I kind of wish that Isaac was in a more dynamic pose. You know, aiming the plasma cutter, or fighting off Necromorph that's grabbing him by the throat. But still, this sculpt looks awesome. And check this out. I found someone that painted it and it looks absolutely stunning. It was made by Eraser Studio. The paint job has everything. The blood splattered on the suit and the base, that dirty weathered metal look, the grimy sci-fi feel. It even looks like they added LEDs to the helmet and the rig on his back. Seriously, it looks like one of those collector edition statues that you used to get when you bought the special edition of the game 15 years ago. Man, that were good times. Now you don't even get the game, you get the license. I've got a bunch more amazing models and paint jobs saved up that I cannot wait to show you. So let me know what you think about this format. Would you like to see more videos like this? And if yes, you know the drill. Drop a comment, hit that like button and tell me which one of today's model was your favorite. And hey, if you find something cool out there, send it to me. I've got an extra drive and a whole platform just waiting to show off all the cool stuff you guys find. Thank you for hanging out with me, I really appreciate it. See you soon, and until then, keep creating, keep painting, and keep having fun with it. See you soon. Bye.